Hey everybody, what's going on? Today is Thursday, and you know what we do on Thursdays. Come on live with me today. We got a lot of things happening. No, we really don't, but we gonna have a conversation. That's what we are gonna do. We're gonna have little conversations and see how everybody's been doing this week. Let's go. Today's Thursday. It's our regular time. Come on live. Today has been it's not been a bad day. I mean, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty smooth, been pretty easy. I don't have any complaints for real. I hope you guys don't either. Come on live with us. We're in the studio. We're at WRFU UCIMC. It says my connection is slow. My connection is always slow. I don't understand what's going on half the time, but you know, come on and join us live. We are in the studio today. How's everybody been doing? Give me a little notification. Let me know how everything has been going on with you and your family and your loved ones and your people. You got some lotion? You got no lotion for real? Hey everybody. Hey, don't put my whole government name on there, Bree. Remove that post. Share this live with us today. Share this live streaming for me today. Get some people to participate in the activities of what is about to happen. We're at WRFU UCIMC. We are in Urbana, Champaign. We are in the community. Yeah, we are here and we are live in the studio now. You know, today's a beautiful day outside. It's kind of chilly, kind of chilly. But, you know, I hope everybody's doing well on this afternoon. I'm hopeful. You know, we are hopeful. It's almost 3. It's almost 3 right now. So I'm hoping everybody will come on live with us today. Have a little convo. It's 3 p.m. It is 3 p.m. Hello, all, and thanks so much for tuning in to me today. It is now 3 p.m., and you know you are on live, and this is Afternoons with Delight. And like I said, yeah, today is the first of spring. Anyway, before we get started, let's start off with our legal ID today. Today is Thursday, the 20th of March, the first day of spring. Before we get started, WRFU LP Urbana, this is our disclaimer. WRFU is an open forum for the Urbana-Champaign community. Views expressed are those of the speaker and guest, and they are not intended to represent WRFU UCIMC. How's everybody doing today? I hope all is well. Bree, it is the first of spring. Is spring, is it love in the air? Since it is the first of spring. Let me represent and say something to my cousin Shannon. She is probably online listening to me as well. Hey, Shannon. And let's see. Andre's not in the building with me right now, but he'll be here shortly. I'll do a little introduction of him once he steps into the studio. But today is the first of spring, guys. So how's everything been going so far? Yesterday we had this monstrosity of storms come through, I guess the central region of Illinois. And of course, you know, if you were a participant in anything, if you were live last week, I know a lot of storms went through the southern portion of the country, and they really afflicted and affected them as well. What are you talking about? It's her birthday season. Andre has made it into the studio. Now let him take a seat for just a moment before we get started with him. Andre's little setup in here is like kind of changed a little bit, but what's the problem? What'd you say? What's going on?
It's like a sauna in here.
Well, you just walked past the heater, Andre. I mean, you know, it's like that. Everybody, Andre's in the building, and Andre's in the studio today.
Andre's out here sweating, doing some work.
Andre, was you doing some sweating? You doing some work?
Yeah.
You know, today is the first of spring. Did you know that? You didn't know? I heard them say it was like spring solstice, or what is that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Time in the universe progress with the water and the oceans, something like that.
I guess so. You know, I guess.
I could be wrong. I am.
You think you're wrong about that?
Something like that. It's not all the way true.
It's not all the way true, huh? Okay. Well, you know, you never know. You know, you never know. There's a lot going on out in the world, in the community. And, you know, we're just bystanders of what's going on. I mean, I wonder how much, you know, they talk about global warming and different things like that. How much of an impact do we have on whether, you know, the seasons rotate through and out? You know what I mean?
A lot of that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they still do the emissions tests in certain cities with your cars. And then they also have the,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. I've heard of that. Yeah.
because the polar ice caps are melting.
Truly. Yeah, I know.
But they've been melting since 83.
83.
That's when I first learned about it in kindergarten.
Did you say that was the first time that you learned about it in 83?
Yeah, we went outside in class. 85, maybe 85.
I was like, hold on now.
Yeah.
When was you born?
85.
What was your year?
80?
Hey, Kiwi. But, 80? Oh, yeah. Okay. Because I was like, I was born in 76. So, yeah, that's, you know, I mean, I guess the bulk of my learning during that time period was you too can prevent a forest fire.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest slogans that we understood about any impact that we could make on, I guess any impact that we could make on, you know what I'm saying, on the atmosphere, our surroundings, you know, greenery, you know, forestry.
And that guy Bob too, you know, because he drew trees all day long.
Ain't nobody talking about Bob Ross. You talking about Bob Ross? Bob Ross. He still is the man, even though he has gone on to be with his trees.
Yeah.
You know, he's
still
the man. It's something.
The river by still great. And the rock.
Yeah, you talk about the little bunnies and how they live in, you know, little forest. And bunny have a little home, different things like that. Well, Andre, you know, we're back in the studio and it's 3:20. We got how many more days to the end of this month? We got about 11.
Yep, 11.
So, you know, a lot has happened in the weeks leading up to our new show hour for today. A lot has happened. You know, everybody, you know, we circle back on DEI, the effects of what it's doing, how it's, you know, mitigating, I guess, and how it's like transforming people's lives right now. We talked about the Board of Education and how the Board of Education is being shut down already. We already had that conversation. And now you're looking at, you know, today's news. Before we came in, we were talking a little bit about the Hall of Famer. Who was it? Jackie Robinson. Yeah. And how he was taken out of, what was that? I can't remember what it was exactly. The Hall of Fame, right? And so I'm like, you know, what effects are, you know, they actually, you know, having?
Just causing a distraction of the real problem. You know,
Yeah.
You know, we're going to throw out this distraction and then we're going to go
Yeah.
do what we want to do.
I believe it all is, Andre.
It's just a distraction.
Yeah, I
Everybody
believe it
mad
all
about
is.
that.
Yeah, I
Then they won't
do.
be mad about the other stuff that's important.
Yeah, that's
more
where.
important.
That's where my mindset is too. I think yesterday I put something up on like when you know the truth, you actually you understand the assignment pretty much, and what is really going on out here. You know, even when this whole how was the astronauts like? I watched that the other day.
Yeah. They were kind of old. Why were they so old?
Looking.
Yeah.
You can't use dye. First of all, you can't use dye. You have no sunlight, right? So you already know. That's just like if somebody goes to the hospital, Andre, and you have to stay in the hospital for 30 days or 60 days. You know, your skin color is definitely not going to look as vibrant and rosy as it was any other time, right?
They went up there looking like 35, came back like 60.
But, you know, and then you got to think about the female aspect of it as well, Andre, because, you know, I'm pretty sure she got her hair done. Okay. She was getting her hair tinted or colored at some point in time. And then now you're like, you've been up there 9 months.
Right. Extra 9 months. It's extra 9 months, wasn't it?
Was it longer than 9 months?
The original trip was something else, and then it was extra 9 months.
No. It was only supposed to be for 8 days.
Yeah, 8 days, and then
they end up staying 9 months because they could not get back. Apparently, they were having some issues with technology. All of it is
mind-boggling. You can send me up there, but you can't bring me back.
My point. I don't think I want to go anywhere that I can't come back from. You know, I don't think I would want to go anywhere that I couldn't come back from. I'm just telling you, like, you know, I'm not saying that this is like for people to deter going into, what is it, the aeronautics or yeah, I'm not saying that, but I don't know if I would go anywhere I can't come back from.
Yeah, I'm talking to a vet on my Uber the other day. He said, "You ever skydive?" He said, "No, I've never skydived." I said, "You ever been to space?" He said, "No, I won't want to go to space because there's no air."
What did you just
There's no
say?
air, and there's no way of making food. He said, "I jump out of the plane all day long, but I'm not going into space."
I mean, that's a true statement because the oxygen that they're pumping into the cabin, what if a malfunction?
Or meteor hit, or...
Andre, what if any of those things happen?
Yeah.
Right.
We like on Harlem Nights.
I'm telling you though, for real, what if those things had happened? And I'm like, how could... I got a question now because now you're making me think.
Right.
They had enough oxygen for 9 months, Andre?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe they breathe. You know.
I mean, but they did have. I thought they had other people. I thought, and this was another thing that they talked about as well. I thought they were up there by themselves.
This sensation was like Russian people.
That's what I thought. I thought it was like because it was somebody recording them every day. Like, I mean, you know, when they had conversations and stuff like that and such, right?
Oh, well, I guess got the thing. It could just float by itself. I guess. Maybe.
Bree said God made her 5'2" because he wants her on the earth. Listen, Bree, seriously though, I didn't know that there were other people in the cabin with them. I thought they were up there by themselves. But I'm like, somebody had to be recording them, Andre, in order for them to, you know, I don't know. It's just all a little suspicious to me. How
you make it up there?
How did you make it there? And then I heard people like you said, there were astronauts that were coming up there and leaving, but leaving without them.
Right. So a 2-seater.
I guess so, Andre. I've never heard of this before. I mean, it's a lot going on.
That's kind of like, kind of foul. Like, oh, we rushing, we taking y'all back.
You know.
Get your own people back.
Anybody that is on the airwaves as well, I say this all the time that we go live in the studio on Facebook. And if you're on Facebook, you can also link on up with us on there as well. My name is Mika Light. Andre's name is Andre Light. If he is on live with us, he can share the video as well. Andre. I bet you did. Andre, we were having an interesting conversation on the way in. And of course, you know, we always have to touch our little base back on relationships and the big payback. Let's call it that. Let's talk about that for just a moment. Bree said, sounds like they are preparing something for something to her. Yeah, it does, Bree. It sounds like that to me as well. Andre, but yeah, we were talking about the big payback. And if you find yourself in a situation, in a relationship with somebody, and you find out information on them or information within your relationship, right? And there are some things that you find out that this other person hid from you, correct? If this other person hid things from you and you found out and you chose not to pay back, or you chose to pay back, right? Because those were the two dynamics that we were talking about, right? And the evolution of you as a person to not pay back. Okay? Bree, you can talk about this a little bit as well. So, you know, we're talking about relationships. We're talking about being in those relationships. If you were to go through your significant other's phone or computer or anything like that, and at any point in time, if you saw anything, you can't confront this person, or you could confront this person, Andre. You really could. But what if you chose not to do either?
Yeah. I've done that many times. You know,
Have you?
Yeah. I let them think they got me, and they never did get me. And I was, you know, did my own thing because they was too worried about what they was doing.
Really?
Yeah. So once I know you doing what you doing.
Okay, I just sounded like a monster when I said that. Really though, for real.
Yeah, figure out you doing what you doing. Okay. I'm
Andre,
gonna let you think that.
wow.
I'm gonna let you keep on thinking I'm a fool. And then, like, oh, he would never do that to me.
Listen,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
So like I said, this
there.
kind of payback. That is kind of payback because I did.
You
more.
did do something?
I did more because they thought I didn't know what this was doing. So
Okay.
I got on my grind.
Right.
Hard.
And that's what I'm kind of curious about, because as you get older, though.
Once I get older, you know, you don't do that.
Yeah, because you know you embarking upon 50 just like I am. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, do you pay back or do you not look for recompense?
Yeah, I don't look for
Do
it.
you not look to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you not look for those outs right now? I mean, who's the bigger person?
Yeah, you got to be the bigger person now because
Yeah.
looks like
Yeah.
yeah, you got to be the bigger person now because you know a lot of people out there
Bree
crazy.
said. Bree said, "Dang, Andre, that's cold." In Darlene voice. But no, seriously, because I think that it takes a level of growth, Andre. And I'm not even talking about maturity, because I know people that are 60, 70, 80 years old trying to get back.
Right.
Trying to pay back their partner, their significant other. And you're like, at 70, 80 years old, what you paying back?
Right.
But I'm telling you, it takes a level of growth for you. But can you move past it in your mind? And does it take a long time for you to move past it?
You can move past it very easily in your mind.
Can you?
But on the surface, no, you may not be able to do it. But in your mind, move past it.
Yeah.
But every time somebody see you or you see them, it's gonna boom.
See, okay, let me ask another question then. Because now you're talking about the female, what you have received from the female, you know, gender, right?
Right.
So you're talking about from a male's perspective. If a female, you caught a female doing something that she said that she wasn't doing within the relationship, which is considered, you know, being unfaithful, right?
Right.
And then, say for instance, you get around a group of people and y'all start having conversations, and she says, "I've never done that in my relationship, but you know better, right?"
Yeah.
Would that trigger a negative response of confrontation during that point?
It depends on if we're still together.
No, I'm talking about y'all still together.
Oh,
Y'all
yeah.
in a relationship.
Be
You
going
in a
down.
group. You in a group. Y'all
Right.
talking to people,
Yeah.
right? And she says that I've never done that,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're with her.
Right. Yeah, it would be situation.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, cause like
Somebody call 911.
man, we don't condone violence, but literally, Andre, I think that would cause you to
Yeah.
listen.
Like, do you think you just better than me and everybody else?
And people do that, Andre.
Yeah.
And you know people
Yeah.
do that. You can get caught up in a conversation not even meant or prepared for you.
Mm-hmm.
And because somebody is like,
Yeah.
they
Right.
want to like put themselves up to a higher
Yeah.
esteem.
Person more out, like if they go
Oh my
in
gosh.
church or something like that.
Right. You could be in that type of situation and you're like, and your significant other, the person that you know.
Right.
And that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know if you can hold out.
But you know, at the same time, if you know, it's at least two other people that know what they did. You know, you just don't know by yourself. Somebody else knows.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Bree said, Andre, you a blaster. I would confront it, but I would strike while the iron was cold. Wait until you're in a good space to confront it. Bree, I get that.
Yeah, take all the effort out though. I don't want to do it now.
I want to do it. I mean,
but if you wait till it's so cold, you know.
That's exactly the time.
Moved on by it now.
Really, I can't. You know
You
what?
got straight when the iron's hot.
Do you?
You do, because it don't make no sense if you do it when it's cold. You just move on. Now I'm wasting energy on this. And I moved on to another relationship.
See, but this is my point right here. You in the same relationship. You keep trying to get out of the relationship.
Oh, okay.
I keep telling you that you in the relationship.
Oh, yeah. It's over with.
And that person tells a group of friends that y'all sitting around having conversations about relationships, and she's like, I've never talked to another man on the phone with my dude.
Yeah.
Would you not say something?
Right. Yeah. I would say something.
That's my point.
I would call dude up and hey man, come on down here and hang out with him.
See that? Listen, I'm telling you, because that's the very that's the very like touch and go. I don't know if I can deal with this type of situation, and I don't know if I can harbor that as far as
that pretty much be the end of the relationship right there.
You think so? But see, you know what? I can't listen. And that's another topic right there, Andre. Does cheating quantify giving up on somebody or giving up in the relationship?
No.
Because you know what? I have this argument with women a lot.
The cheating doesn't, just the lying does. You keep on continuing to lie.
Well,
Or people put it out like you so good.
Andre, but still that's another topic too, because this is what we're talking about.
Right.
Just because you're in a relationship with somebody, we can't forget that they're not perfect.
Right.
Right? But also, to this degree as well, Andre, this is why a lot of people give up on relationships. This is why we talk about relationships to the magnitude that we talk about. Because honestly, Andre, people are finding ease in giving up on a relationship and just moving on to the next one. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that, hey, I might get into something way worse than I had from the beginning. And because we've spent years together now, right? Why should I terminate the years that we put into this relationship now just so I can get another relationship? Because I have this conversation with a lot of women. And like I told you, I got African friends that are really from Africa. And they're like, United States, and living in the United States is very different. And the women here are very different from the women over there, because they're like, why stop being with your man when you're going to get with another man? He's going to do the exact same thing. He's going to, be unfaithful. And then I'm like, is this every relationship as well? Because we got to talk about that.
It ain't every relationship.
If Bree says situations will arise in my Usher Raymond voice, I can't breathe. If I'm still in a relationship, I will wait until things have settled, because I probably will still have feelings attached. I will wait until things look good for me, because if things go bad, I've got to be ready for that. That's true.
Yeah. But you got to save a little money, to exit out. at the same time, I would leave that situation.
You would leave on infidelity alone?
No, because you would go back in your head like it was 12 years. You go back in every year.
I know.
What happened this time? Same excuse this time.
You're right.
Boom, boom, boom.
You're right.
Now you got 13, 14 excuses. Like, man, I've been played the whole time. It's time.
Andre, you're right though, because you know what? That's what we all the time do.
Right.
You know, you go back over the years that you spent in a relationship, and you're like, was every year a lie?
Right.
Was every
time
year?
You went and stayed at your girlfriend's house. You was doing something.
Right.
That you'd be able to do for 3-4 years.
Right.
In between 12, 18 years, or however long they've been together.
Listen, and that's a lot of people's situations that you find. A lot of people going through things where they're in relationships, they're with people, and the infidelity of it all comes to a head.
It may be only like once or 3 years, and every class reunion or something. Something like
My gosh!
5 years, something like that. You sleep with the same person, but you still.
It's cheating, nevertheless.
Right.
And
plus you make him. He knows about it. I know his friends know about it. Half Kiki and whatever.
Kiki.
Yeah.
So, I'm telling you. And then, you don't ever know, like, who is making a mockery of you.
Yeah.
Because that comes with a whole nother level of feelings behind that, because you will be angered by being made a joke of.
You set it off.
Every class reunion is wild, Bree said. Truly.
I
mean, there are people that really relish in the opportunity to have an instance or an encounter with somebody that's other than you, because I find that some people want the thrill of being unfaithful.
The sneaky part.
And I'm like, there is no such thing as, how we talk about role playing in relationships. Right. And, you're like, well, me and my honey, we can go to a bar or some location and you come across the room and you act like you picking me up or something, right? And I don't know if people know a healthy way of being in that component with each other. And then we go back into that conversation as well, Andre, where do people really know how to ask for what they want in their relationship?
Yeah, I did that role play a lot with Miss J.
I don't know who that is, and we don't want to know.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's why a regular STD mandatory is. That's what, and that's why a regular STD checks. She must mean check is a mandatory in a relationship. STD testing. I don't think that should not be what your relationship consists of.
That's about your health life.
No, and I'm talking about for you to even say that this is what we gonna do in our relationship. I would be so furious.
Right. Every time I'm rolling the dice. Every time.
Right. Like, why am I even here?
Right. We can just be apart and see each other later on.
That's my point. I don't think we need to be in a relationship if I have to
roll the dice.
Yeah, because and you talk about who would, but listen, we have those conversations before too, Andre. Like for women, men, if you're dealing with situations where a person is a regular cheater, right? If you're dealing with somebody that's a regular cheater, why be in a relationship?
Why even lay down with that person?
Right. But why even subject yourself to being with somebody who really does not want to invest or be with you?
Or even care about your life.
No, because they couldn't care about your life and your livelihood if they're taking a gamble with what they could possibly potentially bring you back all the time.
They're really not even being careful with their life. They're just...
No. But then also, we can couple that back on to a lot of people don't know whether or not they have mental disorders, because I find a lot of men, I've had conversations with a number of men who've been like, I was with her 2-3 years, and she got a diagnosis of bipolar disorder. She got a mental health diagnosis. And with bipolar, I'm not saying all people that suffer from the bipolar depression, but that makes you very hypersexualized in some instances, and where you'll take chances that are not normal chances that you taken. And then, and we also have those conversations as well, Andre, where it's like, are those pertinent questions to ask a person when you're getting with them on the first time, or y'all first getting in a relationship? Like, do you go to a therapist? Have you been diagnosed with a mental disorder? Or are those real questions that people are asking each other?
Probably not to like 2 or 3 years down the road, because the first year is
and
always,
it's too late by then.
The first year is always the fun year.
Yeah, and it's too late by then. But I'm also like, are you taking any pills? Are you taking any medications?
Right.
Are you
checking the cabinets?
Are they, Andre? Real life.
I do.
Andre, for
I
real.
go to that. I check it.
I mean, and those are questions that you gotta ask yourself. Are those relevant questions when you're getting in a relationship with somebody? Does that really matter to you?
And some of it, you just talk about their old relationship, have them talk about their old relationship. How did it end?
Those are fixations.
Yeah.
Like, I get with people who fixate over their last relationship.
You
Like,
ask them, ask them what happened.
Bree says, that's a conversation I have with people I'm getting to know. Absolutely, that's a conversation that you should
Even regular
have.
friends too.
Yeah, because sometimes, even being a friend is just that.
Yeah.
You want to know how you can be in a helping capacity to the person that you spend time with,
Right.
because you care about them.
Yeah. Or you have to get away from them too, because they might start something off in the club.
Some people got mental health diseases and disorders right now. I could talk about it, and they don't want to give you the up and tell you like what's really going on with me until you see those red flags of a consistent liar.
Right.
That's a red flag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what aren't you taking?
Why are you talking so much? Because you're just rumbling along and telling
Why
me
are
different
you
things.
lying so much?
You don't even know that you're lying. You just said
Andre.
said this 2 minutes ago, and now you don't know.
And that's the truth of it. A lot of people have difficulty even pinpointing, but that goes back to how we were talking about that before, Andre, like being introduced to relationships and the trauma that we experience most of the time, most often in our growing up era.
Right.
And how that growing up can really affect a lot of people because it's so traumatizing what they've been through.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people never even get the comfortability in expressing and explaining like what really happened to me growing up as a child. I talked to a lady, I can say this because you know what, I know she's not going to be listening to the radio and I don't want to tell her name and stuff like that. But there was a story that I have got to tell because this particular lady, Andre, had discovered that she had been SA'd by her brother. And Andre, now she's like 66 years old. And this was never in her thought, right? Of that, she's like, I never thought about it. And I'm like, why would you never think about it? Because Andre, lo and behold, she's a heavy drug user and has been for 50 plus years. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes they said the brain can block it out.
And that's what she told me because I guess her sister had advised her of what had happened and asked her, like this was a trigger memory for her in the last couple of weeks, Andre, where her sister approached her and told her this happened to you. And so she was like, I can't believe that you just now told me this.
Right.
And then it made sense because now she's like, this is why I've been blocking. And this is why, and she finally wanted to reach out and go to Alcohol and Drug Rehabilitation Center on her own. But Andre, 50 years of not really knowing.
Why are you doing this?
Why are you doing things like that? Listen, Damien said he needs some counseling. Damien, I thought you go to a therapist. You go to King Jesus. Anyway, hey, I ain't playing. But I'm so serious. But to hear this lady tell this story and share this story with me, I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think a lot of people taking that knowing, like we were just having a conversation on the way in about people. And because we don't get to, see the full scope of their story, you know what I mean? We can only see bits and pieces, but you see where you can help somebody in their bits and pieces of their story. You know what I'm saying? And I think we struggle a lot of times figuring out where we can best serve people on the bits and pieces that we see. I know they got a saying out there that broken crayons still color. Andre, literally, how do you impart on somebody who's had all these negative experiences that they actually can have a worthwhile life? Because of, even regardless of their broken pieces. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's what, people have to get into the mindset of wanting to help each other. And I sometimes think that we struggle with, really serving people to the best of our capabilities because we don't feel like we can do that, even though you can. I think it's just like
the time and effort that you have to put into it.
You're definitely going to put some time in,
You need time just to listen to the whole story.
Honestly. Because you might have to come back 6, 7, 8, 20 times before you start really putting it all together, which is what therapy, like Damien says he needs, is really what they serve best in doing. But like when you're out and you're going to different churches and things like that, and I mean, we grew up in the time period where everybody's like, well, you go to church and you put your cares at the altar, and then you can go from there. But Andre, they not even hitting.
Right. You don't even know what the cares is.
You don't even know how to approach this situation, let alone with a pastor. Because if your pastor hasn't been skilled or versed in the areas of like bringing this out and actually, because most pastors aren't controlled therapists. They're not, they didn't go to college, they didn't go to school. And, I'm supposed to give you some biblical verses. And what am I supposed to do? Make you go back to the house and ponder on them?
Yeah. I don't know. Use the biblical verses and put them in your everyday life. But how you gonna do that?
That's what I'm saying. How do you do it without instruction? And I'm not saying that, they can't, but I'm saying that like trying to get that type of therapeutic, involvement and actually something that will be beneficial.
You can see it as a positive too. When you go home, you look at it as a positive, like not just
right.
You just gave me this, okay.
I'm telling you, they barely went to Bible school. That's true, Bree. Miss Cleveland is online. Let's see what Miss Cleveland says. Hello there, lady, my friend. I love these glasses. Thank you, Miss Marilyn. Very interesting topic. I believe this conversation should be a part of a relationship. In the new era, we should have these kinds of talks often. Even if you are broken, talk and put the pieces back together. That's so true, Miss Marilyn. Miss Marilyn, you're missed today. But Bree says, what? They barely went to Bible school. That's the truth, Bree. But then, I've listened to people's, lately, I got a lot of friends online that are pastors and first ladies and preachers. And I'm not saying anything negative against
Bishop.
A lot, Andre. And I enjoy hearing everybody's concepts and views. And I still, to the best of my capability, my understanding and interpretation of relationships, when you're going to counseling with a pastor, your pastor even, I think he should have some myriad of understanding of what his delivery is.
Right.
Because I struggle with, do they even know, like, what books should I get that we can build from?
Yeah, because the delivery is like 80% of the game. If you don't deliver right, if you don't deliver that delivery right, even saying hello to somebody, your delivery bad,
Andre, it's the
you're
truth.
not gonna get no response or a bad response.
Right.
So I come say, hey, how you doing? You know, smile. You know,
Right. You know,
maybe a couple big words, and they might be impressed. You might have a date. Just might be my mate.
understood. But, you know, how does a pastor or, like, what do they give you as far as, like, those things, Andre? Like, learning how to date somebody. Learning to be in a relationship.
Right.
Do couples really get like, what does couples counseling look like
Right. And
from your church?
Who has got a degree, not degree, but a certificate of passing it? So what did their relationship look like? Can they come in and be a sponsor to the relationship that this did work for me? Or, you know,
Yeah.
or even the people who's telling, you know, how to do this, are they doing this in their life?
Andre, that's what we really talking about
Yeah.
right now.
Right.
Because you know, just like I know, I didn't, you know what? I mean, even we could talk about our childhood and the different churches that we've encountered. And there were some things that I found out from people in my latter years that I had no idea the whole time, that I'm thinking this is the relationship that I want to mirror because it was a pastor and a first lady, right? I mean, for me, that was the goal, is to be, you know, in the ministry, get married, and, you know, have a husband that's a pastor. I'll be the first lady, right? But Andre, learning in my later years that either the pastor was abusive to his wife, his kids, he used to beat his wife, finding things like that.
When even in the kids.
Andre, finding out things like that just really shook me, because either, you know, my naivety, because I was naive in the game, right? Not realizing that, okay, these are real people and they experience real things.
Right.
But what pastor would get real?
But that's on to like the pastor's daddy too, because that's how he grew up and seeing his parents.
Yeah.
Because their parents was probably together for a long time too, and then
Yeah. But you know, I didn't know half of that. And you know, while you're sitting out here really wanting, because a lot of people do that too. A lot of people will do that. They'll be like, you know what, I want a relationship just like theirs, not knowing what that just like theirs is.
Right. You don't know what to take, because you got to get two people. You just can't have a relationship. Oh, it's gonna be like this. So you do this, and that. No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So you know.
But that's what women, and I can speak for women on this side of the spectrum, that's what a lot of women will put themselves into, that mindset of, Andre, though. They'll be like, you know, I'm going to fix myself for you, and you don't even
want that.
No.
That's why I had to sit 6 hours one time.
Right. Better not be online today. But that's what a lot of women will do. A lot of women will say, I'm fixing myself and I'm getting myself ready for my husband, and we're going to live X, Y, Z, A, B, C. Andre said, Bree said, Andre Bishops. Oh my God. They call themselves honey. God probably, bishops, that's what they call themselves. They don't even know these folks. With loving kindness have you drawn people. That's true. Pastors have to be a safe place. Your married problems can't be the sermon on Sunday. But honestly,
it should be, because
they really. That's what I was finna say, Andre.
You're not perfect. The practice is not perfect. You know, you got to do forgiveness. You know, for yourself too.
Right. And I think that's what a lot of people can't see.
So if I was the pastor, I was beating my wife for 5 years, and then now I finally come out. Oh, you told me not to do that.
And you know, that's what I think a lot of people emulate the fake instead of emulating the real,
Right.
because they don't even know what the real looks like. So now I have nothing in comparison to really compare myself to, other than that fictitious lifestyle that I see on television or that I've caught in a movie. And now I'm finna try to emulate what I've seen. You know what I mean? As far as like the emulation of what a perfect relationship looks like. When your relationship, you can't emulate somebody in that magnitude, because you know why?
You're not them.
You're not them, and nor is your partner, but you keep putting this unrealistic expectation on your mate.
Yeah. And on yourself too.
Yeah. On yourself as well. Pastors have to be a safe place. Yeah. But I'm telling you, that's the cautionary tale that a lot of people will get wrapped up into, wanting to be something that doesn't even exist.
Or not even want it.
No.
Like, I'm gonna change myself and I'm gonna be a bodybuilder. But she don't let me feel I'm a bodybuilder. Why would I change myself to a bodybuilder? She likes the fat guy. Or, the bony guy or whatever.
Hey, that's the truth. Hey, DJ, BJ. But that's the truth of it. You often find yourself, confused on a lot of different things, because number one, I think everybody wants to live up to a facade that they could never reach. I think everybody wants that 3 or 2.5, the American dream. But what is the American dream when you have to redefine it constantly?
Right.
They definitely don't tell you how to love hurt or broken. No, nobody gives you really adequate advice on loving brokenness.
Right.
And because most of the time, Andre, and we've just talked about this, most of the time, Andre, you'll find that people are like, I don't even want to deal with that.
Yeah, everybody has a trigger.
Right.
If I see somebody with a bonnet, I'm not talking to them.
But Andre said he ain't talking to nobody with a bonnet on. But I'm telling you, like, you if you want to be with that person, and that person, what if that person picked up that trait after you started? Because that's what
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could pick up a trait after,
right.
Because people can put on.
So now I think you're playing with me.
But see, people can put on for a limited amount of time.
So they show you the real.
Exactly. Absolutely. They'll show you who they really are after 30-69, which is, that whole speculation of you should give a person like an ample amount of time, right?
To know you.
To get to know them before you decide this is my boo thing.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
they wait that one night, gin, tequila, all be together. What?
Yeah. And then that's what a lot of people will do, Andre. They won't even take the time to get to know this person and know that this person is actually putting on.
Right.
And they've been putting on for quite a while with you.
And they've been putting it on for themselves, not for you.
But, some people will put on just for you so that they can get you.
But that might not be what I wanted.
Right. But I'm saying,
but
this is my point of what I'm saying, is that sometimes people will put on just to get you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they'll be this kind of a person for 30, 60, 90 days, right? And also because you told them, you know what, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z until we reach the 60-day platform or the 90-day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then they'll be like, I gotta stay like this.
Yeah, stay like this.
I gotta stay like this for 30, 60, or 90 days.
Yeah, but at the other time, you're doing something on the other side.
Right.
Because you can put a stipulation on me, so now you're really playing with me, really.
Right. And you know what? You know what that reminds me of? What's that movie with Queen Latifah and Common? Was it Just Right?
Just Right, yeah.
It was Just Right, right? So remember how her cousin, she had to hurry but fix herself up together, because here come Common coming to the door, and Queen Latifah thought he was coming over there for her, but the whole time he was like coming over there to see her cousin.
Right.
And, she got herself fixed up and was like, he was like, you wake up like this? You know what I'm saying? After she done threw everything on, Andre, got together, pinched her cheeks, put a little blush on, put a little rose on. And they whole time he's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wake up like this every morning? And he's like, yeah, I could get used to this. The whole time she was putting on who she was. Right. And Queen Latifah ended up turning out to be the very one that he needed. Right. Which would have made his life so much better. What you say, Bree? Miss Cleveland says, thank you, miss you guys, just chilling today. Hey there, man. One time, a church was a place you could go to get the counseling. Your church was your peace and solace. It was. You have to be drawn to the character over everything. This is what Bree said. That was what Miss Cleveland said. Psychopaths, sociopaths, Bree said, will. You can't give them the, playbook to your heart. That's so true. After a time, a person will show you who they are. Just give them time. Bree said, that was Miss Cleveland. You have to have a level of discernment in dating. That's the truth, Bree.
But you also have a lot of truth, though. You got to tell them what you like. So you have to give them some of the playbook.
You got to give them something, but you can't give them the blow by blow.
Yeah.
You cannot give them
the spot and age, let's go to this restaurant.
Yeah. But also you need to have a person that will actually, that attempts to date and get to know you. Because it can't be you, and I'm not saying the blow by blow of what you like, what you do not like, right? But what I am saying is you got to at least have a person who's interested in getting to know you and learning the activities that it'll take to know you.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just be like, oh, we finna go out and we finna go here every single time, and this person never give, because I had to experience that garbage. I told you I experienced that mess where I'm the person making all the plans and then waiting on somebody to actually make a plan with me. Right. Like, I'm the one giving all the resources of telling you what we need to do and how we need to do it.
You ain't even no time.
Listen. Some, but I'm not telling them, if you scratch my back, I'll give you the PIN number to my debit card. Bree, we ain't talking about all that deeply now. I hope you ain't giving nobody the PIN to your debit card. This is my point. Bree, you hear what Andre said. You ain't even gave it to us yet. But anyway, my point is, though, you got to have somebody who has an interest. Like, you know what? And I don't, but as again, we keep going back to the fact of, like, who really is dating?
Right.
Who really is dating?
I had this experience that, a few years ago. Just talking to somebody like, oh, we eating chicken. Like, oh, I don't eat salmon. No, I eat salmon, but she don't eat salmon. So, so we'll know next time that she don't want to eat salmon, so we'll go somewhere else, try something different, maybe sake or sushi or something like that.
When they tell you what they like,
or what they don't like. So
that's the truth, Andre. That's the truth. But I don't think it takes that much effort for somebody to figure out how to date appropriately. Right. And I'm like, at some point in time, like, aren't we adults? Aren't we?
But some of these people.
Bree said dating equals dates. Hey, Mr. Six, what's going on?
Yeah, that's true.
It does.
Yeah, some people just go to Netflix and chill.
That's the most bogus.
Yeah.
That's the most cheapest and bogus thing.
There's so much
but I mean, after you've been in a relationship for a while, because it really don't take it really don't take a lot for you to take somebody on a date.
Sure doesn't. $10 you can go to walk to the park and get some ice cream.
Literally, Andre. You could take me to the bookstore. Yeah. Now, we're going to buy a book now, but you know what I'm saying? Let's read the same book or similar book so we'll have something to even converse on. Because I can't stand that word conversate. But converse on. I don't even think it's a real word. I hate that word conversate. Anyway.
It's conversation.
Converse. I think that you could take me to the library and we can get a book. We can get a clip note of a book that we could have a conversation that would be actually meaningful. But people aren't dating like that. I mean, and if they are, y'all can put y'all comment in the comments and let me know how you date, because this is not what's happening out here.
I've seen so much stuff. I just walked around the streets, seen so many places to go.
Right. Right.
Why don't people do that? There ain't nobody in there.
Oh, I can imagine, Andre. I can imagine. But this is also what we see when we're talking about even parents, parenting. Because it's like they don't even know where to take their kids to have a good time that really wouldn't cost anything but some effort and some time, right?
Find your little water park with the spout shooting out.
You could find you a little bit of effort, find you a little bit of time, take your kids out and have a good time on really nothing other than the fact that, where we're going to read, we're going to sit in the library is always open. You can go to either one, and they have an activity in a room downstairs in the basement where you could take your kids and you could, read.
Right.
And not only would it increase your kids' learning capacity, but it will increase their test scores. It will
and
make
the bond between the kids. So dad used to take me in the truck. I didn't know where we was going. We just going.
Yeah.
I didn't care what we was doing.
Bree said conversate isn't a word. Bree, I can't stand that. I hear people say conversate all the time, and don't get me started. But, yeah, I mean, the same activities that people want to do for themselves, I think, and want to do in a relationship with their partner or potential significant other.
Yeah, few and far in between.
I'm telling you. But the IMC is one of those places that you can take your date. You can come up here and paint.
Yeah.
They got painting up here.
Paint.
They got all these
Art
different, Andre, they got roller skating up here. Buy yourself a pair of roller skates. They roller skate. They got open mic night where you can come up here and y'all can play a little round, put a little poem together. But I'm like, you got to have somebody that wants to participate in those activities with you.
Just get out and walk. Get out and walk downtown or Urbana.
Bree said her and G went to Barnes and Noble up in Chicago. Bruh, I'm telling you, Bree, that you better get married. So anyway,
maybe have to come down.
Bree, listen, hey, there's a lot of men that struggle, and I think other men, Andre, I think that needs to be a group.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that needs to be a group. Even with young women, teaching young women
etiquette, how to pull a chair.
Etiquette. You know what I mean? And what your expectations should be, because it can't be, let's go pop a bottle and let's sip in something and whatever.
And then we don't remember
Just
what
start
we said.
having an adult and child conversation with your kids first. Get to know. That's so true. Dwayne said, have a conversation with your kids and first to get to know them.
You're supposed to have been doing that all your whole life.
Right. That's the truth.
Every day.
It's and you know what? But you find so many parents just struggling on the regular because they really don't even know. And then, like, if you've never had that component in your life where your parents even showed you how to communicate, because sometimes we even have that conversation as well. You got to teach your parents how to love you.
Yeah, I just text all the time. I'm talking to you in the car.
Yeah. But you got to teach your parents how to love you. You got to teach your kids what love is as well. Sometimes you need to teach them appropriate boundaries and appropriate guidelines that they should implement and have for themselves because you're the teacher. You're the teacher.
Get up and brush your teeth. Go eat. Brush them again. Go to school.
That's a struggle right there, Andre. The kids that are out here that don't have those basic, like I said, we talked about that, having basic soft skills. Those soft skills are also essential when you're in a relationship with somebody. You got to learn how to communicate. But our, parents need to learn how to communicate with their kids so that their kids can then, therefore, take that knowledge that they got from mom, dad, and now I can implement this in my relationship. Right?
You need to implement it way before then, too, because the person you get from your conversation, depends on how well it's going to work out sometimes.
So true. So true. Bree said he bought my chessboard. We do a lot of activities. I want to learn how to skate next. Bree, they have, up at the IMC, they have skating here. So you can come to Champaign.
We got
you
little
can
walkers, too.
You can enjoy it. Dwayne says work, home, sleep for some parents. Right, Dwayne?
Can't be that.
No, I mean, and then now you talking about Andre. The spring has sprung. We finna get ready to be out of school soon, and now all these activities and different things like that.
You better work and sleep.
Yeah.
You better get the home.
We are always teaching the people in our lives how to teach us. That's so true. We have to. I mean, but we're also being examples to the people, to the younger generations as well. And how much do you realize that what you're doing plays a huge part in the next generation of those children? You know, that's one of the biggest things that you can imagine.
Yeah, even the ones you don't think you're involved in.
Somebody learning from you.
Yeah.
Right, Andre? Somebody is learning from you. You know the importance of it. So, I mean, I'm not saying that we know everything about relationships, but we know what not to do. But I'm not telling anybody to leave your mate if they were cheating. Now, we had that conversation early. I'm not telling anybody to leave them. But what I am telling you to do is really get to know your partner.
Yeah.
You know, get to know their faults and their accomplishments. Because one thing about it is you're going to go from one relationship to another seeking validation and seeking support and seeking love.
Yeah.
You know, why not? And I'm not saying for all relationships, so don't get on here with that garbage thinking that I'm talking about staying in an abusive situation. No. No, we don't condone that, and that is not what we believe.
Even in verbal communication.
Right. Verbal abuse. Abuse is abuse, Andre. You know what I'm saying? So any kind of abusive situation that you feel is detrimental to your mental health, because your mental is most important as well. Your physical health is as well. I'm not telling anybody to stay in relationships that are will degrade you as a human. But what I am saying is, at some point in time, you got to realize that if you keep bouncing around and getting the same results, then you're picking from the same garbage can.
Yeah. It must be you.
And I ain't saying it must be you.
You picking them, right?
But you're picking from the same garbage can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you have to change your mentality or your mental in order to pick and choose better.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. You need to learn to conversate yourself.
Don't you say conversate.
Or converse.
Thank you. So,
You know, converse.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to have it.
Pick somebody else.
Truly.
You know.
Dating is about as old as me, but no one really have dates now. That's true. Miss Cleveland said that. Miss Cleveland said that. She said the guy would come by in his car, pick me up. That's so true, Miss Cleveland. They would. They would come by. That was back in the day. That was what you had to do.
Oh, yeah,
that's what you had to do.
Yeah,
you know, you had to go and meet mom and dad. Should we start implementing that all over again? Andre, it's 3:59. We done came and went. So we are always teaching people in our lives how to treat us. Miss Cleveland says they had to come by the door, just blow. True dating is past that fashion anymore. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for being online with us today for this hour. Andre, you got any parting words for the audience today?
Dating is the true art. Good skills up.
Wow. A lot of people need to take that to the bank, Andre, and run with it. Leah, we didn't introduce you today. You got any parting words you want to say to everybody? Just throw your hand up. Wave it like you just don't care. Anyway, guys, I thank you so much. Today has been Afternoons with Delight. I thank everybody for being on with us. Have a blessed day today. Enjoy the sun. It's supposed to be a little bit warmer. The seasons are changing. Now we in the midst of spring now. Has a new relationship sprung in your life? Let me know. All right, y'all. Take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.
Cool. Host of the Mandela Effect radio show right here
Correct,
on WRFU
Miss
104.5 FM. I'm here today
Great.
to spread
Alice
peace,
Shea ain't-
love, and positivity to everyone out there. WRFU is an open forum for Urbana-Champaign and the community. Views expressed are those of the speakers and are not intended to represent WRFU, UCIM.
We'll see y'all later. Y'all have a
That
good
being said, we can get right into today's show.
Huh?
What's going on out there? Hopefully your lives are doing
No, I have
great.
not.
Everyone's living their best life, and
Is it?
hopefully you guys are enjoying.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being online with us today. We've been in the studio. We're finna get ready to rock and roll and get out of here. I'll talk to y'all later. Be blessed. All right, Bree. All right, Miss Cleveland. Talk to you later, Hub.
In your mind.
Dwayne, Mr. Six. Talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Damien.
Said, top